Hello viewers, I have decided to take my channel in a little bit different direction, whereas before I was just kind of recording weather events and whatnot and local stuff that happened around here in the great state of Washington. I have decided to do a book review. This is the second time I've read this book, and it's part of the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. And I would say it's probably one of the most underrated series. I never see anybody doing videos about it, and if they do, they have a few thousand views. This could easily be produced into a TV series like Game of Thrones. In fact, HBO might in the future get on that bandwagon. Well, it's not really a bandwagon yet. But it's a really fascinating series. It's 14 books total. Each book is probably about 800, I'd say on average 800 pages for soft copy like this, or for paperback. And basically it's high fantasy. It's Lord of the Rings-esque, but I wouldn't say that it's exactly like Lord of the Rings. I would say there's a lot more magic and high fantasy aspects, and the races are a little different and whatnot. But it's thick, and you can see all the books on the back. The first one I think was written in the mid or early 90s, and what's really cool about this series is the world that it's based in. It's huge. And this is only one continent. This is the non-spoiler part. But yeah, as you get further in the series, there's even more and more maps. It was really well created and really imaginative. And like I said, I think it's underrated. For those, I would say that you'd have to have a decent degree of patience to get through this initially, because it starts off, I guess, somewhat slow, but it rapidly picks up. I couldn't put it down after I got past like the first 40 pages. I'll put it to you that way. So, in terms of people who, there are people who like shorter books or whatever, but it's an adventure. I would definitely say it's an adventure. It took me almost a year to finish 14 books, and I was reading it pretty fast. And I would say I'm a decently paced reader. But this is just part one. I'm going to do a part two where I actually have spoilers in it. So this is just basically to anyone who hasn't read this series, I would suggest if you're a fan of fantasy, that sounds terrible. If you are a fan of that genre, the fantasy genre, I would definitely recommend this book to you. It's very well written. The characters are really fleshed out, I would say, and there's lots of them. Initially, you just start out with a few, and then more and more come in. And every character has their own personality. Some of them you'll love, some of them you'll hate, and it's different from every person who reads the book. And yeah, so I'll go on to part two, where I wanted to make this video just to kind of, like I said, change the course of my channel, and I would love to talk to anybody about it. This is my second reread of The Eye of the World, which is the first book. And I would love to talk to anybody about, what their very favorite character is. There's a lot of open ends, kind of, and especially as you get near the end, because what happened is the author, he died, I think, 10 years ago, and then he had another fantasy author, Brandon Sanderson, finished the series, and a lot of people have I think Sanderson did a really good job finishing up, but he also made some mistakes, and I definitely want to talk about that. And I'll go through each book. I'm rereading The Great Hunt, which is the second in the series right now. And depending on how well this video does, I know the editing isn't great, and I'm just like taking a picture of my furniture out here. But I'd love to keep doing this. It's a new direction, and I'm looking for other fans. If you're a fan of the series, I know there's a lot of you out there. There's not a lot of videos on this, so if you enjoy it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll do more of it, and maybe leave some comments on the bottom. Ideally not making fun of my abysmal video editing skills. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.